Kapazi Tube, how's it going, everybody? And before I get into talking about the team preview, I kind of have some news for y'all, a bit of an update really. This morning I actually got my class schedule for college, which means I will be starting that probably more than likely next week. I have one class Monday, one class Tuesday, and two classes on Wednesday. And with that being said, if I don't upload like one of those days or like a Thursday or whatever, it's probably because I'm doing something related to college and stuff. So yeah, I've said this many times before that I'm gonna probably stop daily uploads, but I don't stop. So I'm hoping that's what kind of happens with this, so I can still have some free time, but then I'll also probably be getting a job soon. So this time I'm being serious. I might not be uploading daily for the next couple of weeks or so, maybe like every other day hopefully, or every 2 days at the least. But yeah, that's really all. I want to thank you guys for supporting me and sticking by me and all that stuff, and I know a lot of you will still stick by me even through this, which is really great because I'm also nearing 8,000 subscribers, which is just crazy. So I want to give a heads up thanks to y'all before I reach that, on the off chance that maybe I forget or I just don't upload whenever I do hit it. But yeah, team preview. I'm using this team. I don't remember who I got it from, but I definitely know it's not mine, although it's really fun. Looking at my opponent's team, he has a really fun team. He has Rotom and Slowbro, which are actually very viable in the OU meta, and I believe this actually against one of my subscribers. So looking at threats on his side of the field, Conkeldurr is going to be a major problem, especially if I lose my Gyarados and if he turns out to have Ice Punch to knock out my Latias. So I have to watch out for that. Also, Slowbro is going to be one bulky ass Pokemon to take down, so I really have to watch out for that. But if I'm able to win the Weather War, I'm thinking maybe Gyarados or Jirachi should be able to sweep. So that's kind of my game plan, to win the Weather War and try to set up with Jirachi or Gyarados. So I lead off with my Politoed, as he actually ends up leading off with a Rotom. I make an extremely stupid play by switching directly into my Latios. What I should have done was switched into my Breloom, because his Breloom is actually a Toxic Orb bulk upset, which means I would have been able to take the hit and activate my Toxic Orb, allowing me to still keep my Latios. But no, I basically get Pursuit Trapped after getting off a decent bit of damage with the Surf on the Tyranitar. As I bring in my Breloom, I'm just going to go straight for the Spore, because really I have no reason not to go for it, as he actually brings in his Conkeldurr, which is really good for me because now I don't really have to worry about it so much. As he brings in the Slowbro, I see that he doesn't have leftovers, so I'm thinking he's either the Trick Room set or the possible Choice Spec set. So I'm just going to switch into my Politoed, just taking the hit that he wants to go for, as he actually switches out to his Jirachi. And because he is faster than my Scarf Politoed, I know that he himself is Scarfed, so I'm going to go straight for the Hydro Pump. And in the rain, that does almost 40% to Slowbro, which is a really good amount of damage. And I'm just going to go for another one because I know I'll get off a huge hit on whatever he switches in. And I do 34% to Rotom Cut, which is really impressive. Now, seeing that he has leftovers, I know that he's more of a bulky spread, but either way, I'm going to switch directly into my Breloom, as he ends up going for the Volt Switch and Volt Switching into a Slowbro. Then this turn, I make a really stupid play again, and I predicted him to switch out, thinking I would want to switch out, but really I had no reason to do that. What I should have done was just gone straight for the C-Bomb, if anything, or at least actually switched out, and just, yeah, the thought process behind me staying in and bulking up, which is really stupid, and I definitely wouldn't have been able to use Breloom in this battle. So I get off a huge hit with the Thunder on the Slowbro as he brings in the Tyranitar. I'm going to be able to get off a decent bit of damage on that with the Thunder, which in Sand Thunder is 70 accuracy, so yeah. And then this turn he makes a good double switch into Rotom Cut, knowing that I would switch into my Donphan, and I'm just going to stay and go for the Ice Shard, try and get off as much damage as I can before he knocks me out. So knowing that he's not going to want to take another Ice Shard, what I'm going to do is actually predict him to switch out, and I'm going to go for the Stealth Rocks, and that is exactly what happens as he ends up bringing in the Conkeldurr. I'm just going to stay in and I'm going to go for the Earthquake, because even if he switches directly into Rotom, I can still get off some decent bit of damage with the Ice Shard. But because he left in his conch shell. I know that he more likely is going to want to just stay in until eventually he wakes up. So what I'm going to do is just try to get off as much damage as I can before he does wake up. But I do get kind of lucky right here, and he actually stays asleep for 3 turns, allowing me to knock out conch shell. So one threat is out of the way, but that Slowbro is still looking to be like a huge problem because it is really damn bulky. So he brings back in the Rotom. I'm just going to go for the Ice Shard, get off a huge hit, bringing him down to a point where if he switches out, once he switches back in, he will die off to the Stealth Rocks, which means I can just safely bring in my Politoed, outspeed him, and knock him out with the Hydro Pump, just because in the rain, nothing on his team is going to appreciate taking a Hydro Pump, not even the Slowbro, because it still did 40%. So he brings in the Tyranitar, which I found to be a bit odd, but he actually ends up double switching out into a Slowbro, which again, I found odd because look at this. That's an easy 2 KO, especially thanks to the sand, and even if he did just want to get Regenerator HP, he's not really going to get anything back. And again, I have no reason not to just go for Hydro Pump, so I'm going to go for it, get off a huge hit on the Jirachi, and my Politoed is well trained. That is why he is not missing any Hydro Pumps. And I'm going to switch into my Jirachi, seeing what he wants to do. As he goes for the Iron Head, I don't want to stay in and get Iron Flints to death, because I still want to be able to keep Jirachi to try to get off a Thunder on that Slowbro, so I can bring it down to a point where my Gyarados will be able to knock it out. So I switch into my Politoed. Thankfully for me, he does not end up flinching me, and I'm able to knock him out with the Hydro Pump as he switches back into the Slowbro. Again, he's just going to switch out, trying to get Regenerator HP, as I'm going to be able to knock out the Tyranitar. And I believe at this point in the battle, I'm actually down to like 2 Hydro Pumps, but knowing that I don't want the sand up, I'm actually going to switch into my Jirachi, and he makes a very good play, predicts this, and goes for the Trick Room. And at this point, I'm just going to switch into my Politoed as fodder, because again, I know I should have used for Jirachi as he ends up getting paralyzed. This is actually really good for me because that means I'm able to waste 1 turn of Trick Room as I bring back in my Jirachi. I'm hoping that I will be able to live a hit, so I'm just going to stay in, and I'm going to go for the Thunder as he actually ends up switching into the Heatran, which I found to be a little bit odd, and I'm actually going to get the paralysis on that, which if he was an offensive Tran, that actually helps him out because the Trick Room is still up, which means I just made him faster than me in the Trick Room, allowing him to knock me out. As I bring in my Gyarados, at this point Gyarados is just my last chance to hopefully win a battle, or win this battle, sorry. So I know that he's going to want to switch out, and I'm just going to go for the Dragon Dance as he does end up bringing in the Slowbro. Unfortunately, because Slowbro is very bulky, even if he's not max defense, it's still going to be able to take a bounce at +1. So what I'm going to do is sub up as he Trick Rooms. My game plan was to sub up until eventually his Trick Room ran out, or the turn before it ran out, I would then go for the bounce, so I could knock out the Slowbro, but he actually ends up getting paralyzed, which is going to be really helpful to me, although in the long run, I'm not too sure how game-changing that paralysis actually was. So he ends up dying off to his own Life Orb as I go for another substitute, knowing that he would die off to Life Orb. This means that even though Heatran will be faster than me in the Trick Room, he's going to break my substitute, allowing me to just knock him out with the Waterfall, and that's going to be the 1-0 victory in my favor. So yeah, that was definitely a fun, crazy battle. I'm not gonna lie, I played extremely stupid with Latios and Breloom, and I also did get kind of lucky by hitting all those Hydro Pumps. But hey, Politoed is well trained, it's not my fault. So if you guys did enjoy the battle, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to some more content. Also, make sure to go check out the video that I uploaded last night. That should be playing on your screen right now. You can click that, watch it, and yeah, with that, I am out of here. Later, everybody.